my kite surfing shirt down and tell you that I am the publisher of Wingsurfing magazine, and we also have wingsurfingmag.com. I'm here with Kevin Wade, who is the distributor for Eleveight, and they've got two wings in the lineup and some wingboards. And we're going to turn it over to you to tell us a little bit about it, and I'll jump on the other side of the camera and ask you some questions.
Absolutely, yeah. So, yeah. Again, stoked to be here. Always a pleasure to see you. Always a pleasure to be in Hood River with all our friends, the high school reunion we do every year. So yes, this is the flagship model. This is the first version of our new GT1 Plus. So a couple unique things about the GT1 Plus. First, we talked a little bit about earlier about the different materials that we're using. So we have what we call the XTC Tex for the GT1 Plus. It's going to be a super light, super rigid Dacron-based material that we're using on both the leading edge and the center strut of the GT1 Plus. We still use our X4 4x4 ripstop. On the sail material, the same thing that we use in all of our premium kites, but that leading edge material does make this very unique in the rigidity and also the weight reduction. We have rigid handles here, which is also cool. A lot of people have rigid handle wings, but what's unique about this system is that the rigidity is removable. So you can remove these frames here and then just have the rings. It's a little bit easier to do when the wing is deflated, but I do have one over here if we want to check it out that already has these removed. So you still have the padding in here, you remove these, and you can get it even lighter. So if you're blasting upwind or it's super strong wind, you're ripping, you're doing freestyle, you might want to leave those handles in. But if you're going down the line and you want the ultimate weight reduction, that ultimate it isn't there feel, having those removed really kind of adds to that feeling on the wave.
Cool, yeah, let's maybe take a look at the other one.
Yeah, absolutely. Go over to the wing stack here, pull this bad boy out. Oh. I don't think it's attached, but we'll find out in a second, won't we? Perfect. So yeah, so here's the handles here. Again, it's padded all the way around, and as you can imagine, that rigid frame just kind of fits right into the groove. So it looks seamless, and almost you wouldn't know that it's this way unless I told you or removed it. But then again, super lightweight, very well balanced wing. Very good for wave riding and also freestyle. So it's almost like the wave mode and or freestyle mode, but of course, some people are gonna leave them in or take them out, whatever you wanna do. The point is that you do have the option, which is awesome. Yeah, so this one's gonna come in sizes 3 through 7. I would say this one's a little bit undersized or oversized, however you wanna look at it. But for example, the 7's gonna be more of, let's say a 6.5, 6.7. So always remember to size a little bit up when you're looking at these. Other than that, man, it's an amazing wing. We've gotten a lot of really good feedback about this on the show, and with it being the first version, I'm super happy. Of course, Peter being the, again, perfectionist that he is, even though this is the V1 of the GT1 Plus, this has been tested for, I believe, over 2 years before they brought this to market. So very, very well thought out product, super pleased with it. The fit and finish is awesome. It looks just as good as it rides, and yeah, stoked to get people out on it.
WFS here?
Yep, the WFS. So, WFS, this is now the 4th version of the WFS. This is our bread and butter, our original wing, what kind of started us on our wing foiling journey, we'll call it. So this one here has the boom. I think we're now seeing more and more people adding booms to their wings. I wouldn't say we were the first, but for sure we've done some unique things and continue to do them in the segment. This connection system is something that we designed. It's an Eleveight original design. Kind of goes outward, and the idea about it is not having to sacrifice the aerodynamics of the center strut in order to bring a control system to you that you're going to be able to use for the length of that bar. So for example, if we were to have this a bit closer, yeah, it might be this long, but if you have it here, you might start getting your hand pinched with the strut. So essentially trying to add as much control as possible, as much rigidity as possible, but also kind of maintain that ergonomic feel that people come to know from windsurfing or from any other thing that they've used a boom from. So able to do those micro adjustments, move your hand up and down, relatively lightweight, a little bit thinner diameter, and just overall great wing. Changed a little bit of the trailing edge geometry on it this year, just to kind of make sure that when you're going down the line or when you're going upwind, you still have that same level of canopy tension and rigidity throughout the range of the wings. This one comes in 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2 different colors, and like I said, obviously still our best-selling wing to date. We'll see what happens though. The GT1 Plus is kind of coming for it, so we'll see. But very, very good wing. This one here is going to have for sure more low end compared to that GT1 Plus. But if you're riding waves, I think that's the guy you want.
Okay, cool. And I see a Evolve board hiding behind us over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's check that guy out. So this is the Evolve. So this has the CVC construction like some of our surfboards made in the same factory. This the composite vacuum sandwich construction. So it's carbon fiber, has that vacuum to suck out all of that extra resin that you don't need. It's not going to add any structural integrity. So making sure we can have it as rigid and as light as possible, because obviously that's what people want in a solid deck. We're going to have that concave in the deck that's going to make it really nice and ergonomic for your feet. Also this nice corduroy deck pad that a lot of people are using. It's just attacking us, man. That nice light deck pad that a lot of people are coming to use. Little holes in it, so it has a nice, really comfortable feel. But as it gets wet, it's super, super grippy, which is obviously what you want out of a deck pad. Nice kick here in the tail. Nothing new with that. And on the bottom, you're going to see a double concave with a kick in the nose and the tail. A little bit of a rocker line, but this is super efficient for sure. Nice ergonomic handle and a decent amount of adjustability depending on what kind of foil setup you're using.
Well, we do the Delta foils as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is going to be the Delta R frame. The R frame, R stands for rigid. And the cool thing about this is you still have a somewhat modular design, so you can still pack this down, but it's as close to let's say, I don't know what I want to call it, a gapless system, or a system that there are no gaps and there's nothing that comes apart from the top plate all the way through the front of the fuselage. So everything that's load bearing is essentially one piece. So super, super rigid, super high performance, and we do have different lengths on the fuselage, 3 different lengths, this being the longest one. So essentially for pumping, wave riding, you might want the middle one. If you're going to be kiting, you can also use the short one. This is going to be obviously the best seller for general wing foiling, upwind, downwind, whatever you want to do. We also have a full range of wings. For the high aspect, we're going to have the new ones coming out. We have a 590. I can't believe people are winging with 590. That's nuts. That's amazing. So yeah, for me, that's a small kite foiling wing. But they had a 590, a 700, going up to the 850, 1050. Where'd your mic go, dude? Oh.
I can slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, and all the way down. Slide it. Okay. You want to start from a certain place?
Yeah, maybe just from the rigidity.
Okay. Yeah.
That's better.
Sorry, yeah, okay. So this is the R frame. Cool thing about the R frame is, again, R stands for rigidity. This is full carbon, and you have a single piece going all the way from the base plate or top plate down through the fuselage to the front wing. Obviously the front wing is removable, but the only part that comes apart is going to be the rear part for the stabilizer. So the rear section of the fuselage is removable, so you still do have a little bit of modularity. You can change the size of the fuselage. You can also pack it down a little bit smaller than something that's all one piece. So for us, it's kind of the best of both worlds. You still get essentially that rigidity of one solid piece of carbon, essentially, but also a bit of modularity and adjustments with those different sizes of fuselages. So the R frame is going to be paired a lot of times with our high aspect wings. Like I was saying, we have that 590, which is crazy to me that people are actually wing foiling on something that small, but 590, 700, going up to an 850, 1050, 1280, 1450, and then the 1720, which is the aircraft carrier, is kind of what I need. But 2 different types of stabilizers. This is going to be our race stabilizer, a little bit higher aspect and smaller than the standard one. And then obviously also our reflex series and our 860 kite wing. So a lot of wings, but nowhere near as many as some others, but try to make sure we have a comprehensive range, kind of something for everybody.
Yeah. Do you have a setup of all the Delta wings set up over here?
Yeah, absolutely. You can check them out. I think some of them, especially the prototypes, we only have a couple of them, so they might be out on the water. I believe this here is the 700, and then the 590 is going to be a little smaller. Those are going to have that 11, I believe, aspect ratio, which is pretty gnarly.
That's skinny.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, then if you come over here, we're going to have the 850. Again, there's also a 1050, 1280, 1450, and the 1740. I said 1720, but the 1740. Then you got to have the 890 Reflex, which is the smaller one in the Reflex category. Again, George kind of patented that back in the day. Something that a lot of the other major brands have kind of not necessarily duplicated or replicated, but they've had success with this Reflex technology. Essentially, you're going to have a built-in stabilizer into the trailing edge of the front foil. So this is going to kick up. Essentially have kind of a convex shape, kicks up here at the tail, and again have a built-in stabilizer into this front foil. So you add a stabilizer to this already stabilized front wing, and you have something that's rocks exactly super stable. So again, that's the 890. We also have the 1500. This is going to be the larger Reflex wing. I believe this is our smallest one, the 860, and again this is the 890. So just to kind of segue over to this is going to be our M frame. We talked a bit about the R frame, R being rigidity. M is going to stand for modular. So a lot of other people have modular systems. I think what's unique about the Delta system is that we have both a carbon fiber top plate and a carbon fiber fuselage in all of the setups. So we have an aluminum mast. We have various heights, all the way down from, I believe, 60 centimeters all the way up into the hundreds. So any mast length you want, you don't have to break the bank if you want to go aluminum. But our most popular, that 32-inch, does come in full carbon fiber. So anyone that's, again, playing around or they want to start getting into kiting, they want to start getting into winging, they have that full modularity, breaks down super nice. But they also have the advantage of being able to choose between aluminum and carbon fiber. And again, with that carbon fiber top plate, it's achievable to have a full carbon setup that doesn't break the bank.
Sweet, that's a great idea.
I would like to take credit for it, but it is George's.
Sweet, and what's the website for Delta stuff?
So that's going to be deltahydrofoil.com. So yeah, super easy to remember. Has all the information in it, and the same thing. Our ASL team, got the stuff in the van, got the stuff out in a lot of shops now, and also just ambassadors essentially everywhere. So follow us on social media. There's also a Delta Hydrofoil page run by our main man Edgar. Always reaching out to people, answering questions, and also making extra special stops if you have a spot that's not already on our radar. So.
Does Edgar do like the demo tour? Like he does the demo tour with kite stuff. Does he do it with the wing stuff as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We have kites, wings, and also e-foils in the van. I just added a roof rack to that thing, so yeah.
That's a lot of gear.
Oh yeah, it's loaded down. So he comes back to the mothership every now and then, refreshes stuff, and then kind of continues on his way. But yeah, kiting, winging, whatever you're into. We got wetsuits and harnesses in there as well. So yeah, whatever you need.
Yeah. What do you feel? E-foil lines are you guys doing now? I heard
so,
the one.
Absolutely. So I do Wade e-foils. I do Manta 5, which is the hydrofoil bike. Super unique. We got a ton of demand for that. And also the Hydroflyer, which is, I would say, the most premium, advanced PWC foil on the market. So that one essentially has removable handles. It has as large of a board as 7.5. So you can literally stand on that thing, lean forward, and just kind of start going. But I would say that one in particular is both the easiest to use and the most advanced in terms of the e-foil segment. So we have essentially unmatched value with the Wade, super high quality with great performance. We have the high end covered with the Hydroflyer, and then we have something totally unique in Manta 5.
Super cool. I'll put the link for all those in the description.
Absolutely. I can't even keep up with all the stuff we got going on. But yes, please put the paragraph of links down in the description. Okay. We'd love to hear from you. Love to give you a demo and try to get you guys out on the water.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you. Always a pleasure.